Send Help starts like a survival thriller, but the real danger is not the plane crash. It is what happens when the one person everybody looked down on finally gets total control. Linda saves her boss, keeps him alive, and then realizes rescue might be the one thing that could take her power away. Linda Little works at a finance company where she does the hard work while louder, smoother people get the credit. Her old boss had basically promised that she would be next in line for a promotion, so when his son Bradley Preston takes over, she thinks her time has finally come. Instead, Bradley gives the job to Donovan, a guy who has barely been there but fits the image Bradley wants. Then Bradley humiliates Linda to her face. He tells her she is smart, but not charming, not likable enough, and not the kind of person he wants next to him in meetings. Linda pushes back, so Bradley sends her on a work flight to Bangkok to solve a merger problem and prove herself. Before the trip even settles in, Donovan makes things worse by playing Linda's old Survivor audition tape in front of everybody on the plane. That detail matters because the movie is quietly setting up the fact that Linda really does know how to survive. The people around her just never took her seriously until it was too late. Then everything explodes. The plane is hit by violent turbulence, the cabin breaks apart, and the business trip turns into a massacre. In the chaos, Donovan tries to take Linda's seat. She stabs him with a fork, and seconds later the aircraft crashes into the ocean. When Linda wakes up on shore, almost everyone is gone. Bradley is alive, but he is badly hurt, weak, and completely dependent on the woman he just treated like a disposable employee. At first, Linda does all the real survival work. She drags Bradley out of danger, finds water, builds shelter, gathers food, and proves that the survival skills everybody laughed at were actually real. Bradley still tries to act like a boss even when he can barely stand. He questions her choices, complains about rescue, and talks down to her like they are still back at the office. Linda finally gets sick of it and leaves him alone for 2 days. By the time she comes back, Bradley is terrified, starving, and ready to listen. Now the balance changes. Linda teaches him how to survive, but every lesson reminds him that his life only continues because she allows it. She catches food, cooks conch, kills a wild boar, and slowly turns their camp into something stable. Bradley gets stronger, and for a while the movie lets you think they might actually become a team. But Linda is changing too. Out there, nobody interrupts her, nobody mocks her, nobody tells her to stay in her place. When she notices a boat in the distance and keeps quiet about it, the film makes its point. Linda is no longer just trying to survive. She is starting to like the version of herself that exists on this island. The movie pushes that idea harder when Linda talks about her past. She reveals that she was trapped in an abusive marriage and spent years waiting for a cruel man to become kind. Bradley seems to understand. For a brief stretch, it almost feels like honesty might save both of them. Then Bradley does exactly what Bradley always does. He uses her vulnerability against her. He poisons her food with berries, steals supplies, and tries to escape on a raft without her. It backfires immediately. The poison is not enough to kill Linda. The raft falls apart. Bradley almost dies again, and Linda ends up saving him again. That is the point where the story turns fully dark. Linda hits Bradley with octopus toxin, leaves him unable to move, and calmly tells him the truth he has been refusing to hear. No help is coming. He is trapped, powerless, and completely at her mercy. From then on, the island no longer feels like a place two people are stuck in together. It feels like Linda's kingdom, and Bradley is just the man she decided not to kill yet. Just when it feels like the outside world might finally break into Linda's new reality, Bradley's fiancée Zuri arrives on the island with a local boat captain. This should be the rescue. Instead, it becomes Linda's point of no return. She cannot handle the idea of losing control, so she leads Zuri and the captain toward a deadly drop. Both of them fall and Linda comes back alone. Bradley eventually realizes something is wrong and confronts her. Linda tries to frame the deaths as an accident, but the lies are falling apart. During their fight, Bradley injures her eye and runs. Then the movie drops its biggest reveal. Bradley finds a hidden luxury beach house on the far side of the island. Linda already knew about it. She knew there was shelter, electricity, supplies, and a real chance to contact the outside world, and she kept that secret. That changes the whole movie. They were not just stranded. Linda had a way out and she chose not to use it. Linda follows Bradley into the house and stops pretending. She admits what happened to Zuri and the captain. She corners Bradley with a shotgun and forces him to face the truth. The rescue story he kept waiting for was never coming, because the person deciding his future was standing right in front of him. Bradley makes one last move, but it is over. Linda kills him with a golf club, which is a perfect ending for a man who judged people by status, polish, and country club charm. A year later, Linda is back in the world as a celebrity survivor. Interviews, applause, admiration, and even a self-help message built around the lesson she took from the island. No help is coming. The final sting is brutal. The public sees Linda as a miracle. We know she is something much worse. She did not just survive the island. She used it to become the one person in the story who never wanted the old world back. On that island, the plane crash was only the beginning. The real horror was what Linda became after she learned nobody could stop her.